Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by video games, not just playing them, but the strange moments when they break, glitches, bugs, those times when you suddenly find yourself in a part of the game world you were never supposed to see. To most people, it's just a funny accident, but to me, it always felt like peeking behind the curtain of reality itself. That idea haunted me for years. If our games can break like that, what's stopping our world from breaking too? What if, one day, you slipped through the cracks not in a game, but in real life? What would you see? Would you ever make it back? This story is my attempt to answer that question. It's about obsession, speedrunning, and what happens when reality itself glitches out. And if you're brave enough to keep listening, just remember one. You clip out of bounds, there may be no way back. College was never my dream, but somehow I ended up there anyway. 2 years in, and I still had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. My grades were terrible. I skipped assignments. Sometimes I didn't even bother showing up to class. The truth is, the only thing I've ever stuck with is gaming. To most people, it's just a waste of time, but I always thought maybe I could turn it into something more. That's how I got into streaming. It wasn't easy. Thousands of other streamers had expensive cameras and pro setups. Nobody wanted to watch some broke college kid playing retro games on an emulator, whispering so the neighbors wouldn't complain. I needed something different, something unique. That's when I found speedrunning, finishing games in record times. By abusing glitches, I became obsessed. I joined forums, learned tricks, streamed my attempts. I wasn't the best, but people liked watching me improve. Slowly, I built a small community, but then it started bleeding into real life. I wished there was a skip dialogue button when my mom lectured me on the phone. I imagined stats floating over my daily routine. Apple, +2 hunger. Coffee, +5 energy. My whole life became about efficiency and shortcuts. And one day, that obsession took me somewhere I should never have gone. It was raining hard. I was late for class, running up the front steps of the building when my foot slipped. I braced for pain, but instead, my legs sank into the step, just for a moment. When I looked down, there was nothing wrong. No scratch, no bruise. But the step didn't look right. There was this tiny gap in the corner, barely visible, but it moved differently when I shifted my head. So, thinking like a speedrunner, I tested it. I stomped, I jumped, and then my foot went straight through. My heart nearly stopped. I thought, am I clipping through this? And if so, could I go all the way? In speedrunning, the rule is simple. You try everything. So, I backed up, sprinted, and launched myself feet first into the step. The world vanished. It felt like diving headfirst into deep water. Darkness swallowed me. My body jerked violently, then everything went black. When I opened my eyes again, I was inside the building, alive, but something was wrong. The hallway was dead silent. The storm outside was gone. The door behind me was shut, even though I never closed it. I opened it, and what I saw wasn't right. The layout was the same, but everything looked broken. The red brick wall outside was just a smeared texture. The grass was a flat green blur. No people, no sound except the roar of static, like white noise on max volume. I tried stepping outside, but slammed face first into something invisible. The door shut itself behind me. Inside was even worse. The tiled floor was just jagged polygons. Posters were blank rectangles. Doors were painted on the walls. Nothing worked. Panic crushed me. I curled into a ball, hyperventilating until I passed out. When I woke up, it wasn't a dream. I was still trapped in that glitching world. Hours passed as I searched for a way out. I thought in game terms, was I psyched? Then I remembered, if you can clip in, maybe you can clip out. I started throwing myself at walls, doors, anything unstable. 4 hours I bashed, jumped, and dove until finally, my arm slipped into the corner of a crooked poster. This was my exit. I backed up, sprinted, and slammed into it. Next thing I knew, I was falling hard. I hit the ground gasping for air. The world looked better. Not perfect, but better. The grass had patches of detail. Rain fell like flat 2D sprites, and there were people. At least I think they were people. They looked like unfinished models, gray and featureless. Their voices were muffled, distorted. When I reached out, my hand passed straight through them. I screamed for hours, following anyone I could find, desperate for someone to notice. Eventually, I trailed one guy who pulled out his phone. That's when it happened. Through the static, I heard him talking to his mom. My screaming must have bled through his interference, because he paused and said, "Og." It stopped. Okay, must have been interference. Then he walked away. That's when I realized I can communicate with technology. Barely, weakly, but maybe enough. Since then, I've been searching for computers, typing blindly. I can't see the screen. I can't even see the keyboard. I just type over and over, hoping one of these messages makes it out. Onto the internet. Onto the right screen. To the right person. Because I can't starve. I can't die. I'm stuck here, and I need help. If you want more terrifying stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next.